This is going to be a series of videos where I go through the activities in the study guide for Visual Literacy ARH1501. I will go through my answers and then discuss the feedback on the activities in the study guide. So let's start with activity 1.1 on page 2 of the study guide. It is required that we read the introduction on page 1 and underline or highlight the following words: discipline, artifacts, culture, ideas, ideological, art criticism, and interpretation. So I would suggest that you get a dictionary and just look up the definitions of those words, even though you already know them. Question 1. What are close synonyms for the word discipline? Close synonyms for the word discipline could be order, subject, area of expertise, regulation, theme, and practice. The study guide says obvious close synonyms I can suggest are academic subject, area of specialization, and field of expertise. What connotation does discipline convey that the other two terms or phrases do not? Discipline implies prescription, following a certain set of rules, etc., thus emphasizing those as significant and part of the intended meaning of the author. Question 2. What is an artifact? Would object be a close synonym? Okay, so an artifact is a man-made object. It is a tangible, real object. A naturally occurring object could be an artifact if it becomes the subject of an investigation. An object is just a tangible thing. It does not have to be an artifact. An artifact has to be an object. I would say that it is a synonym, but not a close one. The study guide says this is a very difficult question because it seeks to tackle something that is so fundamental to our expectations of what art is. Traditionally, an artwork was a tangible object. It was a thing, an artifact. This term is still used in archaeology. Nowadays in art theory, we do not think that objecthood is a precondition for an artwork. Literally anything, any event can be art, of course only under certain circumstances. Thus the real question is revealed: when does something become art? So that is a very good question that is revealed, and we will tackle that in a later video. Question 3. Do you think that society has only one culture? And can an academic discipline have its own culture? So I think the obvious answer is no. Society is a tapestry of different cultures. They can run parallel, they can collide, they can intersect, they can merge, they can influence each other, but there's definitely different cultures. An academic discipline can have its own culture, yes. People of a certain group, influenced by the same information, will develop specific thought patterns. Thought patterns affect behavior, so over time a culture in an academic discipline can develop. So definitely yes. The study guide for question 3 says the suggested approach to this question is to settle on a definition or informed understanding of culture. So my definition of culture would be the social norms of a specific group of people, the academic achievements, accomplishments, motives of a certain group of people. It could be a racial group, a geographical group, an age group, and people from a specific area of expertise. Okay, what else does the study guide say about question 3? Okay, it discusses the culture of art over the past 200 years and suggests that cultures are indicated, if perhaps not defined, by specialist institutions. Okay. Question 4. Can you imagine an artwork that does not contain an idea? No, I cannot imagine an artwork that does not contain an idea. What would be the points? Okay, so the study guide, so question 4 says, this is a rhetorical question. Its purpose is to elicit a response of no, but it is meant seriously. Perhaps the question should be, why would one want any artwork that does not deal with ideas? Okay. Question 5. If I say that politics is always about ideology, does that imply that ideological and political are the same thing? No. You said politics is always about ideology, but you did not say that ideology is always, you did not say that ideology is always political. Ideology is the idea, the greater theory. Politics is the policy or the practice. Okay, so let's see what the study guide says. Question 5. Clearly, ideology is the wider concept, but politics as practice does not have to be ideological. Okay. Question 6. Where do you find art criticism? I would say everywhere, because art is everywhere, so the potential exists for criticism everywhere. The study guide says potentially wherever you find art or where art is reported. Okay. Question 7. Do you think that all art requires interpretation? So I am not going to say that all art requires interpretation. I think that all art is interpreted. You cannot stop it from being interpreted. Consumers of art will interpret the art when they consume it. It doesn't mean that their interpretations are what the artist wanted to convey or what the critics derive from it, but it is still an interpretation, and in my opinion valid. I don't think that a formal analysis of every piece of art is necessary, but sometimes difficult artworks do require a formal analysis. Some art just simply doesn't speak for itself. You have to know the social context, you have to know the political context, and you definitely have to analyze the style and form of certain artworks. The study guide says, I suppose it all depends on what one understands by interpretation. Consider carefully whether the content of an artwork can be so obvious that it speaks for itself. I would dispute whether one can confidently make that assertion. By expressing the issue in those terms, it does suggest that it is especially difficult artworks that should be interpreted. Okay, so that is the end of Activity 1.1. My next video will be Activity 1.2. Bye.